Top teams in the world come together in the Six Nations.
The energy transition is happening. Now is the time to change. Time to move from polluting to preserving, consuming to creating. Time to act on your energy. To understand it, save it, even sell it. Because today's decisions will transform tomorrow. Pinergy, powering energy transition.
To all the fans out there, we know how much you care. To everyone who believes this could be their year,
so much. And then the quality of rugby that's been played.
we're always here. Wherever your team or heroes roam, there's one place we can all call home. The Irish Examiner, where sport lives.
Good afternoon and welcome to Virgin Media Park for this Pinergy Munster School Senior Cup semi-final. PBC bidding for a fifth consecutive final in a row face off against the St Munchins side, who will be out for revenge after last season's 35-29 defeat. Kick-off here is at 2 p.m. and is fast approaching, and we are in the capable hands today of myself, Darrell Frawley, not so capable, Barry Murphy and Johnny Holland. Gents, you're both very, very welcome. Barry Murphy, it was a long time ago since you wore the St Munchins jersey, but it is something really special about Cup Day.
Absolutely, for us, yeah. I had the feeling coming down from Limerick today to Cork, the butterflies in the stomach, it never leaves you. All those trips down to Cork, obviously it's so hard for a Limerick team to come to Cork and get a win in the Cup. But this is a Munchins team that I think are brewing with confidence, good bit of experience from last year, a lot of talent, they like to play rugby, so there's going to be a packed stadium here full of Munchins lads, full of Pres lads down here, so I think the scene could not be better set.
Perfectly unbiased commentary in store from Barry Murphy. Johnny, we were here yesterday for the CBC in Camp game, a mix of power from CBC and a little bit of play ultimately told for them, but we've much better conditions today and two teams who like to play rugby.
Yeah, they do, and if last year was anything to go by, they played a lot of rugby in a high-scoring game, but yesterday was a bit stop-start, wasn't it? I think Christians were in control for a lot of it, and they did all the line breaks, they just didn't really finish it off, and I think stop-start nature of the game maybe took away from that a small bit, but we're hoping to see a little bit more here. Cleared up yesterday, but it's clear here nice and early as well, so you should see a lot of running rugby.
Yeah, you had the cheek to say that it's always sunny in Cork on Twitter earlier on.
I had the boots on and all.
Let's move to the teams today. PBC, there's two players in particular you want to focus on, James O'Leary and Jean O'Leary-Kareem. They both starred last season. O'Leary-Kareem is the captain, and they are stellar performers.
Yeah, absolutely, and I think they play well off each other as well. Like they're cousins, aren't they? So they know each other inside out. And even in the final here last year, James O'Leary started taking contact early, and then all of a sudden he knew, he had the wherewithal to know that the eyes were on him, and he's slipping a pass to his cousin Jean, and he's gone in under the sticks, so they're a powerful combo. They're going to take a lot of stopping. There's a year between them. James is still only a fifth year. Jean is a sixth year and a big leader here. He's a captain, he's a goal kicker, so you can't take your eyes off them. But even like 9, 10, 12, 13 all played last year. They're going to be the real crux of the attacking rugby here for Pres.
Indeed they will be. Barry, from a Munchins perspective, there's a lot of history and tradition involved, but the likes of Oisin Minogue, Tom Wood, there's a lot of players there and a lot of talent in this Munchins side. Absolutely.
Believe it or not, for us, Oisin Minogue already has 2 senior Irish caps, because his mother was pregnant when she was still playing for Ireland, so that's his claim to fame. His mother being Rosie Foley, of course, so a lot of experience. Oisin, brilliant player, really physical. I think with what Johnny's just pointed out, with that Pres midfield, I wouldn't be surprised if Munchins start doing a little bit, get a bit creative with their back row on how to control that midfield and that dominance that Pres will try and get there. They've also got Tom Woods, Keith Woods, young fella. What a talented young lad. Steps off both feet, great passer of the ball, always a threat at the line. Matt DePau, full back for Munchins. We saw a wonder try here last year that he scored. So like they've got a lot of threats across the field. And this is just going to be, what a huge opportunity. It starts here for most young fellas, doesn't it? This is where you get your first taste of really, really competitive, high-pressure rugby. I think the standard is going to be really high as well. So I think we're in for a treat.
Indeed we are. Conditions here almost perfect. You wouldn't know it by how Barry Murphy is dressed, but kick-off fast approaching. St Munchins against PBC in association with the Irish Examiner, live from Virgin Media Park. We'll be back after these.
To all the fans out there, we know how much you care. To everyone who believes this could be their year,
So much. And then the quality of rugby that's been played.
we're always here. Wherever your team or heroes roam, there's one place we can all call home. The Irish Examiner, where sport lives.
Welcome back to Virgin Media Park for the second of today's Senior Cup semi-finals, courtesy of the Irish Examiner Sport. Dara Frawley here with you in the safe hands of Barry Murphy and Johnny Holland. Gents, you're both very welcome again to Virgin Media Park. In terms of the teams today, Barry, we're going to see the PBC team shortly, but what are Munchins going to have to do early to take this sting that you mentioned out of the PBC side?
Yeah, I think the old classic quiet in the crowd. Dara's always really important in these cup matches. The Munchins are here to play. That's the way they've been kind of playing all season. They've got it's a tough place to come in any cup match, but stick to what you're good at. Stick to, getting into your patterns early doors. Defence is going to be huge. This is a cup semi-final.
Yeah.
This is going to keep low scores for the travelling team. Get your own team behind you. But it's a dry patch. What a pitch. It's always a lovely place to play in Musgrave. And now they've got the 4G. There was a little bit of rain earlier on, but it's pretty dry now. The sun's come out, so I think they just got to stick to what they know. It's an exciting, expansive brand of rugby. They've got some real quality in the back line. They have a big pack as well, don't they? So they've got to really get the solid set piece, obviously, to start with. But that should be enough to get them into the game, and hopefully for them quieten the PBC crowd.
Indeed. The PBC team lines out as follows. Full back is Decky Fitzgerald with Neville O'Leary and John Wigington Barrett, who's a dual player with the Cork Miners. Jean O'Leary, Kareem captains the side from outside centre, and James O'Leary, remember the name, at 12. Harry Murphy and Liam Toohey, the half-backs. They're the partners again from last year's winning cup side. Alexander Alderson, Cormac Bohan and Oscar Squires make up the back row for the PBC side. Dennis Murphy and Daniel Foley in the engine room. Billy Cronin, Pádraig Doyle and Maurice Minogue. Minogue, the sole survivor in this PBC pack from last year. The replacements: Rio McLaughlin Barry, Fiona Sullivan, Diarmuid Sheehy, George O'Keefe, Charlie Donnelly, Frankie O'Sheehan, son of Frankie, Mark Hetherington, Luke Siscomani, Ricky Barrett and Evan O'Dowd make up the PBC side. Johnny, we spoke about James O'Leary and Jean O'Leary Kareem. There is serious talent right through that PBC team.
Absolutely, and I think if you can get the whole thing about Prez at the moment with Munchins, as you mentioned, Munchins having a big pack, they're going to try and get stuck into that pack to stop the go forward, to stop these guys being let loose, I think, in the middle of the pitch. But even from my notes here, I was after writing down a few things like, James O'Leary try in the group stages, try last year in this game.
I'll stop you there, Johnny, as the teams are out, but we'll just quickly take the Munchins team and get back to that. The Munchins team line out as follows: Matt DePau, a survivor from last year at 15, Ben O'Mahony and Gerard O'Brien on the wings, Adam Cusack and Danny Williamson, the centre partnership, Tom Wood, who Barry Murphy has highlighted as an incredible player, at 10, Rory McDermott at 9, Oisin Minogue captains the side from number 8, Charlie Grace and Tommy O'Driscoll partner him in the back row, Callum Black and Anthony Foley in the second row for St Munchins, Oscar Vitolin, Adam O'Shaughnessy and Peter Dugan the front row for the Limerick side. The replacements: David Gagan, Owen O'Callaghan, Donica Colgan, Dara Fogarty, Billy Power, Jared Aaron Bold, Adam McGlynn, Alex Quinn, Cathal Glynn and Brendan Minogue, the replacements. Johnny, we will see the quality of the PBC side there, but I'm just going to jump back to Barry there. In terms of the St Munchins college side, you said the team are going to play. I'm going to ask you for a prediction.
A prediction. I think if Munchins can get the upper hand for all in that from their pack, the likes of Oisin Minogue, Callum Black, who's been, I think, one of the players of the season for Munchins this year, they can get a bit of momentum going forward. And again, try and silence that crowd. Get the likes of Tom Wood into the game. I mean, they're going to have a lot to handle in James O'Leary in the centre. I mean, that guy, as you said to me earlier on, could probably step into a Munster jersey today. So look, they've got a lot in their hands, but if they can manage that, get the upper hand in the pack, I think we could get a surprise win here for Munchins on the road. I'm going to go with 15-12 to Munchins.
Johnny Holland, you get off the hook this afternoon.
Sorry, I need to balance out that Limerick bias. And contrary to popular belief, I'm not a Prez boy, but you know, Prez have beaten them a couple of times in the last few games. We'll see how this goes.
Stuart Donaldson, the man in the middle, and we're underway here in Virgin Media Park for the second of these Munster Schools Senior Cup semi-finals, and a little knock on there from Oisín Minogue, and we'll restart with a scrum. Some early nerves there.
Yeah, nice kick-off, wasn't it? It's obviously an option. Minogue coming from out to in. Thought he could have claimed it, but got a little bit messy and just knocks it on.
I think you're seeing a connection that you're going to see for the rest of the day here. I think, you know, between 10 and 8, there's two big leaders there for the Munchins team.
Wait.
Ball in the hands of Liam Toohey at 9. The 9, 10, 12, 13 axis, all cup winners last year's Alderson picks, and goes blind. Finds the hands of Toohey, and Neville O'Leary, brother of James, on the wing. It goes back out again to Murphy and O'Leary. Munchins will have known that they need to stop him early to stop Prez getting go forward ball. So O'Leary Kareem fills in first receiver, goes out again to Murphy, and Prez looking to spread the ball wide in the conditions, and they have just done that. Wigington Barrett has got acres of space in front of him. He's well marshalled there by Toohey, but just about gets space. Lots of space here on the right hand side for PBC as Munchins look to scramble. Toohey again, they go out the back of Minogue, and it's a good carry by Daniel Foley. Prez really getting into their groove early here. Toohey again finds O'Leary, multiple first receivers for PBC in the opening exchanges here. Toohey again, they go open to Murphy. Murphy's pass finds grass, but O'Leary, some silky footwork there as Minogue absolutely hammers him with a tackle. Toohey again to Murphy. Alderson may have been taken off the ball there, but referee Donaldson says it's okay. Minogue is spotted again, and it's the open side Cormac Bowen. Bowen, clean set of heels, and Prez with multiple phases here, but so far the Munchins defence standing up to it. Toohey out the back to O'Leary Kareem, to O'Leary. Ball is well held there. Game being played at a frantic pace here. Toohey again, snaps back on the inside, too far for Billy Cronin. And Oscar Squires does well to clean up and hands to his back row partner Bowen again. Slightly slower Alderson again with that little dummy line has been a feature of Prez's plays. O'Leary carries straight into contact and is double teamed by St Munchins players. O'Leary Kareem out again to Toohey. Good continuity play here by Prez, going through the hands and Wigington Barrett. Again, Wigington Barrett's on the move here. He's got one to beat. Wigington Barrett is going to get the opening score in this Pinergy Munster School Senior Cup semi-final. Barry Murphy, what a start from PBC. Unbelievable play.
Unbelievable. My God, Prods, it's hard to know how many phases they went through here. It started here off a right on scrum. I was surprised they went blind with it, but they knew exactly what they were doing. They sucked in that Munchins defence. Munchins, despite having a full flat line, great break down the left hand side from Barrett, and then it was just keep ball. Great skills from Prez from one side of the pitch to the next. Lovely understanding of space, and in the end Munchins, he felt they were just asked too much to make tackle after tackle. It was a wonderful finish from Barrett, wasn't it?
Johnny, continuity and patience a real feature, and from 1 to 15 look so comfortable on the ball.
Really comfortable on the ball. Their skill set was class, but as Baz said there, their understanding of space. No, I don't really like the dummy lines that were there. I think if they were a bit more live, you know, you get I think Munchins will ignore that after a while, but their understanding of space and when to actually shift it to the wit spread the Munchins defence, and it was just too much in the end.
Wigington Barrett with the try, and captain O'Leary Kareem with the conversion after 3.5 minutes here in Virgin Media Park. PBC lead by 7 points to 0. The pace of the game has been frightening, and as 3 retired players, it's very happy to be up here in the gantry rather than on the pitch. As Munchins take their time. On the restart, we saw Minogue go very, very hard and a short. Game to get underplay as referee Stuart Donaldson looking for a ball. Barry Murphy spoke about the need to kill the tempo and the sting in this PBC side for a travelling Limerick side, but PBC early doors having absolutely none of that. Same ball again for Munchins, and Minogue looks to go. A little bit of a tracking line there by Billy Cronin, not picked up. The dark arts with the tight head forward there.
It was picked up by Ger Slattery, don't worry.
Toohey right footed, doesn't quite get underneath that. The ball finds ground, but Tapau who scored an incredible try here in the semi-final last season, tries to go, and PBC are going very hard in that breakdown. The referee says players were off their feet, not supporting their body weight, and St Munchins will have an opportunity to go down the line and get a launch play and attack.
Yeah, I got very lucky there, Munchins, didn't they? I'd like to see that again as to whether they were off their feet, Perez, because Matapau got very isolated. There was 2 or 3 Perez players over the ball. Didn't look like they were under any pressure.
Wood finds very good touch. We will be going to Johnny Holland for wind updates as to what way it's going throughout the course of the afternoon, like we did yesterday.
I couldn't tell you all this yesterday. I'm not going to tell you today. I think that was actually a good call by Short Donaldson. The first action was on the ground, wasn't it? A bit harsh, but it's probably fair.
O'Shaughnessy has the ball in hand. Black and Foley in the middle. Nice bit of movement there as they go towards the front. And Foley transfers to Minogue, and it's a good set by Munchins. Adam O'Shaughnessy has it at the back. This Munchins pack looking to take PBC on up front, and they're doing just that. Looks to have been brought down. The arm goes out from Donaldson. Danny Williamson as the hit option with Tom Wood out the back. Munchins slowly growing into the game. Johnny Holland and you had said before the game, as well as Barry, that they'd look to take them on up front, and it's certainly been just that.
Yeah, and I think if you look at we've been talking about the Prez backline the whole time, and the questions will be asked of their pack, and I'm not shocked to see this go back into the corner. And if they don't defend this one, it could be a long day for their pack, because Munchins will start to sniff them out a small bit, and they'll keep going back there.
Tom Wood, left-footed, puts Munchins 5 metres out in front of the Munchins faithful. 5+1 in the line out. Tommy O'Driscoll, Callum Black and Foley. They go towards the middle of the line, and it's Black who carries very well. And the ball is in the hands here of Adam O'Shaughnessy, and Munchins are very, very close to the line. Prez struggling to get there, and O'Shaughnessy, the first entry into the 22 for both sides, has yielded into a score. We said Barry Murphy was going to be a belter beforehand, and we have certainly got the start.
Yeah, that's straight out of the Ger Slattery playbook, isn't it? Took his time there brilliantly, did Adam O'Shaughnessy. Didn't break away, solid line out, not complicating things. Munchins just going straight to 2. Callum Black taking it down. Such a big pack. Very difficult for that Prez team to hold it up, and I think we're going to see a lot more of that come forward. But what a start to the game for us.
Ger Burke and Ger Slattery know each other very well from their Munchins and Munster's days. So it will be intriguing to see what way the game pans out, but for the time being, Tom Wood lines up his first kick of the afternoon. Wind reasonably okay. Wood strikes very well, but it's going to tail off to the right hand side. And after 7.5 minutes here in this Pinergy Munster School Senior Cup semi-final in association with the Irish Examiner, it is 7 points to 5. Johnny, we spoke about teams yesterday when they get into 22s making it count, getting scores, and so far it has been picture perfect from both sides.
Absolutely, and the criticism we had yesterday is when the opposition scored, they didn't deal with the restart. So here we go now. If Munchins want to get on top of this against Prez, then I think they're going to have to clean up here.
Ball restarted again by Murphy. Good kick off. Prez chases, good tackle made by Alderson. Back rower Charlie Grace.
Pass back in.
Foley carries.
Release tackler.
Munchins biding their time here for an exit. Ball is brought back inside, and Wood, right footed this time, and it's given it a heavy boot. Lands in the hands of Wigington Barrett. He finds Murphy and O'Leary here. So dangerous with ball in hand as O'Leary steps on the inside, and he's well marshalled by Minogue. Found a little soft shoulder there. Prez looking to attack that little dummy runner again. Alderson found in midfield, goes outside Minogue. Black slips off the tackle there, but Prez, a joy to watch in the opening few minutes as O'Leary Kareem finds Murphy. Murphy finds Barrett. That seems to have been a high shot. Referee Donaldson in no doubt. Just said clear direction, lower in the hips with the new tackle laws being brought in. Probably the right call there.
And I think that's what the referees are looking for, a hip hinge. So if you see an effort on the hip hinge, they will try and let that game play, but Stuart Donaldson is saying you have to make more efforts to lower your hips and make a lower tackle.
I think Barrett's going to cause a lot of trouble with that, isn't he? Because his feet are so good. You can already see the Munchins players are standing up. You don't know which foot he's going to bounce off, but Munchins already showing a lot of space in the backfield as well, Johnny. I can see you pointing there for maybe 50-22 is on. They're obviously quite wary of the threat the Prez have
across that back line, but they've got to be wide of that.
Murphy's touch has led to Pádraig Doyle, who throws in towards the front of the lineup. Well taken by Prez. You see from the touch judge's flag there, the wind does appear to be in Munchins' favour, certainly in that area of the field. It's Prez try and get them all of their own, but so far Munchins have answered the questions. O'Leary, nice little interplay there, swallowed again by Minogue. O'Leary carries well, so abrasive in contact. Prez with slower ball here. Tui, O'Leary, Kareem. Getting yards there again is the captain for PBC. Murphy goes out the back and Tapau has picked it up. Tries vital block down there by the out half, Harry Murphy. And not as pristine attack, as pristine as the attack for Prez. And Munchins, perhaps, as you said, Johnny, trying to figure out those spot runners and make sure they get off the line.
Yeah, and I think Prez are going to have to start using them a small bit. Like, they're playing both sides of the ruck, like we saw a bit from Christians yesterday, but Prez did that last year, was a feature of the game as well in the final, and they got a lot of purchase from it. But they're doing the same thing here very nicely, and Liam Toohey and Harry Murphy at 9 and 10, they're actually very understated. They just facilitate the game for the lads around them, don't they? They know what they have in the centres, they just let the ball go. So they're seeing a lot of good delivery, but they're going to have to start punching through the middle at some stage too.
As we spoke about the 50-22s there, it has been a feature of, in terms of field position and the importance of it, this Prez team playing rugby. It's really refreshing to see, because in Munster schools generally we've seen 3-6, 9-0s, particularly in your age grade and your era, but we've seen a lot of continuity in play here, which is really refreshing.
Oh, incredible. Skill level here is absolutely phenomenal. The understanding of their pods and their patterns. You even saw the no-look pass from Harry Murphy there, a la Jacques Crowley. Did I say Jacques Crowley?
Yeah.
Jacques Crowley. Which is great to see, obviously, watching their heroes on television, trying to emulate it here. But as Johnny said, mightn't be any harm to just pop one up the middle as well. But yeah, I mean, what a start to the game, that Prez team. They can play, and especially those two centres getting their hands on the ball so often in the first few minutes is really impressive.
Indeed, as Billy Cronin gets back to his feet, Andy O'Byrne along with Cher Burke of Munchins and Prez respectively getting little nuggets of information to their players. It's been a cracking opening 11 minutes here in Virgin Media Park. Prez with a scrum midway between the 22 and 10. Toohey's got Murphy outside him. James O'Leary's on a short line with brother Neville tucked in behind. O'Leary Kareem out of 13. Prez through O'Leary, look to carry, but he's well marshalled by his opposite number, Danny Williamson there. Played in last year's team for Munchins. Good skill set there by Prez, both sets of props, Cronin and Minogue in interplay. Munchins getting to grips with this Prez attack and getting off the line. O'Leary Kareem steps on the inside, gets outside the would-be tackler, and O'Leary Kareem with another step. He's beaten three defenders, and O'Leary Kareem, is he going to be stopped just about in the fingernails? Tackled. The referee Donaldson says it's a forward pass. Tapau absolutely hammered Liam Toohey. Afterwards you can hear the Prez fans remonstrating on the right hand side, but unbelievable play there, Johnny Hanlon, from Jean O'Leary Kareem, stepping on the inside in seemingly going down a dark alleyway, but he found a space.
That's why he's an Irish under-19 player, isn't it? Like, he's just pulling a rabbit out of a hat there. I think it was a knock on from the pass here. That was the one. Alderson, I think, just got a touch on it. Bit of a heavy tackle afterwards, but interestingly from the scrum, Munchins packed down with their 9 in the back row, and Oisin Minogue, they're obviously all over the laws. I love to see that little bit of ingenuity, throw something different at them, a bit of chaos as well. But Oisin Minogue, knowing the laws, coming away from the scrum and staying at the back foot, and very interesting move from Ger Slattery as well.
McDermott with the feed for Munchins, a good solid scrum, and Minogue carries, gets outside and passes to Williamson again. The wind is quite tricky here on this side of the field as McDermott finds wood, and that's going to banana inside, and full-back Decky Fitzgerald allows that to bounce, and Wigington Barrett, who has open field in front of him and has been electric in the opening 12 minutes, says he's going to have a run. Tackled well by Foley. Toohey again, out to O'Leary Kareem. O'Leary to the other O'Leary. PBC throwing the ball around at will. Munchins falling off a couple of tackles as Neville O'Leary is on the move here. O'Leary all by himself is going to have to do it as he tries and buys a little bit of time. Does very well to place the ball. PBC electric in attack. O'Leary out to Murphy. O'Leary Kareem bounces off two would-be tacklers. There's a 2-on-1 here on the outside. Bohan passes out. Squires out to Wigginton Barrett, but he's well marshalled, and Munchins survive on this occasion. But Johnny Holland, incredible continuity in play from PBC yet again.
And it's a tale of O'Leary's, isn't it? Neville O'Leary that time, James's brother. But even Gene O'Leary Kareem in contact, he just explodes, doesn't he? It's handoffs, it's movement, spins. You know, he's very aggressive in the contact. But again, like you're seeing the understanding of space, Baz, like you said, you know, they have a good understanding of it. They're not taking the ball too close to the tackle line when they're trying to get to edges, and they're knocking on the door here. But like we saw yesterday, for us, you know, if they don't convert, all of a sudden the opposition gets back into it.
Yeah.
I think Munchins just got to start putting the ball off the pitch. For all, you know, that's 3 or 4 loose kicks, and that's exactly what Prez want, to run the ball back. So from Munchins' perspective, find the stands from here on.
O'Shaughnessy's throw is loose, but the referee says that there's a slight knock on there. Black, real towering presence in that second row, languishes up into the air almost, and Prez trying to get in front of it there. But to your point, Barry, on the kicking, we'll get back to that in a second. It's been very noticeable that PBC have found soft shoulders on the inside of Munchins, and that's something that Munchins are going to need to sort out quickly, because Prez are getting a lot of change out of it.
I think they're gassed, to be honest with you. They look tired already. They've had to make an awful lot of tackles in the first 15 minutes of this game. So, you know, if you're a big pack, it's up to Tom Wood now to just get the ball off the park, give him a couple of minutes, take a breather. It's like Prez backline are just running riot at the moment.
Wait now.
Keep it simple, Barry Murphy. McDermott with the feed. Minogue has the ball at 8, but McDermott looks towards Williamson. Williamson carries well. Ruck is resourced by Munchins, and McDermott right-footed here. We look towards Wood, right-footed.
Stay, two-step.
And Wood gets a lot of distance but doesn't find touch there, and PBC very dangerous from counter-attack. Move the point to contact, and O'Leary, Neville O'Leary, with the ball in hand, steps on the inside shoulder. He's tackled by Minogue again, who's had an incredible work rate in the opening 15 minutes of this game. O'Leary Kareem stepping on the inside, but he's tackled by Grace. Referee Donaldson, who's been consistent there. It looked like the Munchins player was on the ball, but the hands appeared to be on the deck, and PBC now will have an opportunity to go into the corner. Captain O'Leary Kareem looks to be in a little bit of bother there. Let's hope he's okay. But Barry Murphy, to your point, getting the ball off the field. Wood has a serious boot in him, but his pack will not be thanking him for that kick.
No, it's just, I mean, it's a big Munchins pack. We haven't seen the Prez lineup being put under any pressure yet. So, you know, that if as a Prez backline, that's exactly what you want. Kick us the ball with loads of space, loads of tired forwards out there, and it's a jagged line, isn't it? So that's why we're seeing so many breaks. You miss one tackle and it seems like it's a line break at this point. So yeah, just boxing a little bit more clever from Munchins there, and Prez are also really, really dominant at the breakdown. Munchins haven't got a sniff, only once there. Unfortunately, Minogue put his hand on the ground, giving away a penalty.
Johnny, the number of first receivers for Prez has been really difficult to defend, but it's incredible to see how comfortable the number of players are in that first receiver.
It's clearly taken a lot of effort from Prez as well. They all, like you said, it was a tight head first receiver to a second receiver as a loose head. And you know, Barry, you said about Munchins being out on their feet because they're making loads of tackles. They're making loads of tackles that they've also had to chase, isn't it? So they're finding it really tough at the moment. But you know, it's still 7-5. You know, Prez aren't really making that count at the moment, so they need to start doing that.
There you go.
Doyle has Murphy in a 1-3-1 split on the 5-man line out. Murphy, nice little bit of interplay. The peak of the throw there is Tui finds Murphy to O'Leary at 12. O'Leary finds Alderson to O'Leary, Kareem to Neville O'Leary. Wonderful play by PBC here, and Wiggy to Barrett just about holds it. The momentum doesn't quite bring him to the line here, but PBC are agonisingly close to the St. Munchins line. Devastating attack yet again in the 22. Alderson carries, it's a high tackle from O'Shaughnessy, who just about holds him up and buys his team some time to defend here. Prez again calling in the artillery to carry. Minogue doing all he can to stop the PBC side, but the onslaught will continue here. Murphy looks for O'Leary Kareem, and much like the final 12 months ago, O'Leary Kareem takes that short little line, and PBC lead 12 points to 5. Barry Murphy, scintillating attack again from the Cork side.
Yeah, brilliant decision to go to a 5-man line out for alls. I think you're taking the potency out of that Munchins defence when you do that. But very, very tight defending and poor defending from Munchins, you'd have to say. Off the set piece, got way too narrow. It looked like nearly every player was inside the second post off that first phase. Great break down the left hand side, and it was just about retaining the ball. Prez he had a really bunched attack, but it was Kareem from the outside in. Great line, and there was no stopping him there.
Stuart Donaldson showing the skills, not happy with the ball there. But Johnny, to Baz's point there, off the 5-man line out there, with it going through essentially 4 sets of hands there, is that a line speed issue or is it a communication issue?
Yeah, there's a bit of communication there, but you can't let a team get 4 passes off. 3 passes is too many, so it's just not aggressive enough. And maybe when you get a backline that is as potent as that, you start to sit back a small bit and see where they're going. But you don't get to do that. If you're wrong, you might as well be wrong on the front foot. So it's too many sets of hands, all right. But I think with Gene O'Leary, Kareem, he scored a try against Munchins last year in the semi-finals, scored a try in the group game against them, scored a try in the Senior Cup final last year against Christians. It wasn't the case of if he's going to score, it was when he's going to score. That's one nice and early. If he can get on the scoreboard again, Munchins will be in trouble. But just again, back to the referee, nice and consistent on some of his penalties. We were possibly a little bit critical yesterday about the flow of the game. He's really leaving this flow, and 2 breakdown penalties, both very consistent, both the right calls, so it's great to see.
O'Leary Kareem converts his own try. 14 minutes to go. Stuart Donaldson says 14 points to 5, Prez lead, and it's a carbon copy again as they send Minogue up to hunt down O'Leary, and Minogue does just that. Dominant tackle by the Munchins captain, committed to the cause for the St. Munchins side as Tui's box kick is fielded by Tapau. Has a little look up there, doesn't quite go to hand, to plan, that ball bounces into touch. Another metre or so, we could have had an interesting race there with Wigington Barrett, but you can see the idea there, Baz, with the 50-22 on the cards.
Yeah, he got lucky, didn't he? I mean, I'm not sure if it actually wasn't the cards. Prez looked to have the backfield controlled quite well, but maybe that's some words coming from the sideline there to kick the ball a little bit more from Munchins, but you've got to earn it as well, don't you? Maybe just something carrying up there, allow Tom Wood to kick, but he got away with it. Actually, it did go out in the full, they've overruled it.
Yeah, it has gone out in the full there. Gain of yards. PBC will have the line out just inside the St. Munchins half. As they go towards the front, it's well taken by Bowen. Lovely delivery between Tui and Murphy. And O'Leary steps on the inside. So dangerous in contact. Big carry there as PBC are just over the halfway line. Murphy, lovely, taking the ball to the line. O'Leary Kareem is marshalled very, very well there by Gerard O'Brien. And outside centre, Adam Cusack. Tui has a little break there. And O'Leary Kareem will fill in as scrum half. Tui decides to go himself there. PBC being patient in attack as hooker. Pádraig Doyle finds O'Leary, and O'Leary's looking for soft shoulders, and he gets outside the tackle, and O'Leary here is rampaging forward, and he's got a scrum half on his inside. Cusack for Munchins does very well there to cut off the corridor for Cusack. It seemed like Prez would score, but they go again through hooker. Pádraig Doyle, PBC claiming the fans looking for the penalty. Stuart Donaldson says there will be advantage, not rolling away, and Stuart Donaldson says it's just a penalty for the moment. But again,
on the line, gents,
Johnny Holland, at risk of a 5-metre quick penalty to go here, we'll wait for the analysis, but that soft shoulder has become a real issue on the inside for Munchins.
And what happened was Tommy O'Driscoll is looking up at Gene O'Leary Kareem and trying to cut him down, leaving Oisin Minogue on his own with James O'Leary, and it's again the 2 centres really causing trouble.
We're going to see a 5-metre variation here. I can't even see the ball myself as Tui goes towards O'Leary Kareem, and O'Leary Kareem has scored again. An incredible try, the second for the captain in almost as many minutes. Wonderfully disguised move there, Johnny Holland, all the 8 forwards, keeping everyone down, getting O'Leary and Kareem in a one-on-one, and everyone knows the outcome there.
Yeah, like it was beautifully disguised, but once Liam Tui turned, you're thinking it's a one-on-one here, and if you're on your line, you have to make one-on-one tackles. It doesn't really matter if it's Gene O'Leary Kareem, but you will back him to get over the line, but at the risk of repeating ourselves, I think we're going to say his name a lot more times in this game.
Yeah, I'd say going back to the initial break by O'Leary, I mean, it was a tale of the 2 sides where O'Leary's, before he gets the ball, he's scanning. Before he got it, he saw that there was a little bit no chase really on the inside of Munchins. There was no, the blind side defence wasn't coming up, so he darted back down the blind side, makes a great break. Really unselfish to pass inside to scrum half. And on the flip side, Munchins they were coming up quite hard on the outside. Not really playing with heads up though, a lot of eyes looking back in at the ruck. I think that's just something that they've got to get into the habit of, is looking up. There's no point in looking at the ruck where the ball is. You've got to look up at what's in front of you on both sides of the ruck.
Indeed, on that front, as Gene O'Leary Kareem receives some attention, his second try. And Johnny Holland, you might remember at this stage last year at half-time, PBC led 35 points to 10. They went down to win the game, but just about 35 points to 29. Munchins held up.
They're going to make him kick it here for
on
us.
the PBC line, yeah.
Well, that's the thing, and at this level, you know, we saw a little bit of a comeback yesterday. You can't really sit back. I don't think Prez are going to do that this time, but just an interesting one as well. Liam too, he seems to be on the end of everything. Once they attack, he's just running upfield because he knows the damage that his backs are doing. So he's going to get on the end of something.
O'Leary Kareem fit enough to continue his second try of the afternoon. Devastating in terms of their return in the Munchins 22. Leary Kareem drills the ball through the posts, 3 tries, 3 conversions, leaves the score 21 points to 5 after 23 minutes in this Pinergy Munster Schools Senior Cup semi-final coverage in association with the Irish Examiner. St. Munchins slowly to the halfway line. As the ball restarted by Wood finds O'Leary again. Grace and Minogue both miss O'Leary, and O'Leary is running riot here. James looking left and right as he's trying to keep Matt DePau honest. But Neville O'Leary has got lots of gas. His brother on the right hand side, and O'Leary is going. Matt DePau's going to try and stop him, but he's not going to do it. And yet again, the O'Learys combine to absolutely tear St. Munchins to shreds. Johnny Holland, St. Munchins will be bitterly disappointed, but James O'Leary's awareness to look up and buy time to allow O'Leary there was incredible.
Well, his strength, and you can see the strength in his quads to break the first tackle, and then to kindly give the ball to his brother to get over the line. But I think if you're playing on the Munchins side at the moment, if you can, you try and find a space where there's not someone with an O'Leary in their name, because they're doing an awful lot of damage at the moment.
That's one for the family album, isn't it, lads? That's incredible. Like, they'll remember that for the rest of their lives. Like, to get to catch the restart after just scoring and break the first tackle and have your brother haring up beside you, they'll remember that one. What a finish.
He had a lot to do as well, didn't he?
Yeah, Neville O'Leary, the older of the two brothers. I wouldn't like to be sitting at the same dinner table as them.
Well, if you look at the ground that he had to cover there, I mean, as a 14, you're going to be back here. I'm not sure exactly where he was, but he's bound to be on the 5 metre line. That's incredible support line to run.
O'Leary Kareem right out in this right hand touchline. Has judged that to absolute perfection. No, he hasn't. He looked for more angle than he had. O'Leary Kareem, his first blemish on an otherwise perfect record this afternoon in Virgin Media Park. The score after 25 minutes, PBC 26 points to 5 in front. Barry Murphy, in terms of the kickoff here, are Munchins going to need to change tactic?
Yeah, I was even going to say it before the last one, that there's not enough variety to it. They're relying too heavily on Minogue to get one. He'll probably take this one after me saying it, but they're ushering him well.
Grace returns the ball. PBC tried to crowd him out, but Minogue disrupting as Black carries through. 3 tacklers from PBC managed to drive him back, and referee Donaldson says we will restart with the scrum. And Johnny Holland, Munchins, apart from the try they've scored from the maul, have not had any ball in PBC's 22.
I was just thinking that when they got possession, I couldn't tell you how they attack yet, you know, because I haven't seen it. Obviously, we'll see a lot up front, you know. They can only push a metre in the scrum here, so they won't get massive dominance. What we saw from Christians yesterday can get you on the front foot and get you over the game line, which does count for a lot. But I think if they can put the squeeze on Prez here and get a ball into the corner and maybe come up with another maul try, all of a sudden you're closing the gap a bit.
No cause for immediate panic from St. Munchins here. Andy O'Byrne and Ger Slattery coach side will know if they get enough possession and ball in hand, they have the ability to score tries, but it's contending with this PBC defence.
Set!
McDermott with the feed.
Stay fully bound, fully bound.
PBC.
Hold the push!
Minogue carries, used Donaldson as a bit of a shield, and McDermott finds Williamson. Williamson wraps around. Ball look to go forward there. And referee will play advantage here. PBC will look to play as Wington Barrett tries to get outside Ben O'Mahony. And referee Donaldson says it's a high tackle yet again. And for all the talk about the O'Learys, Johnny Holland, Wigington Barrett has been worth his weight in gold for the Cork side.
The whole backline has been so good, hasn't it? Like, we haven't talked about Harry Murphy for a while, but he was pulling Harry Murphy. He was pulling strings a good bit. in the last 10 minutes before the O'Learys ran riot. But Wigginton Barrett on the far side, you know, you can't take your eyes off him. Great step off both sides, Baz, isn't he? And very hard to catch.
Yeah, and it looked disappointing attack from Munchins there. Just you can see they're trying to force it now. Obviously, they haven't had an opportunity to show us how they play, but that was it was both a forward pass and a knock on, so they'll be frustrated with that.
Munchins still reeling perhaps from those Prez tries. We'll look to defend this line out. It's not as clean as they would have liked, and Tuhi's pass Munchins' hand will restart with a scrum there. Barry Murphy's prediction of 15 points to 12 is definitely out the window anyways, but
Munchins might get 12, Baz.
Yeah.
I said 50 points to 12.
Stranger things have happened. Don't rule anything out here based on last year's semi-finals. With two exact teams here. PBC with the entire right-hand side of this pitch loaded.
Set!
Murphy has got Wigginton Barrett directly behind him. O'Leary and O'Leary Kareem in their usual centre partnership. Decky Fitzgerald is loitering there. There's a little dink over the top here. He's going to find grass. Which way is it going to bounce? Bounced in favour of St. Munchins. Lovely little break there by Ben O'Mahony, the winger, getting his hands on the ball, and Munchins have space here on the left-hand side if they can move it through Wood. Wood finds Cusack. Cusack tries to find an inside shoulder and does get yards there. McDermott again to Wood. Wood takes the ball to the line. PBC going very hard after that breakdown, but Munchins answering the questions. Minogue, he's hit hard as first receiver. McDermott again goes to Wood. Minogue tries to carry on the inside, but referee Stuart Donaldson says there was a knock on. Munchins struggling, Baz, to really get into a flow in the game.
Yeah, you can tell they're forcing it a little bit. Prez taking a lot of energy from how dominant they've been, getting off the line, numbering up pretty well. It's a good little bit of footwork from Tom Wood, but every question they're asking has been answered. And again, just forcing it with the last pass. I think it's Minogue that just gets slightly ahead of Tom Wood, the knock on in the end.
Six.
Neither side
Make sure you're fully bound 6, yeah.
playing to an exact pattern, which is refreshing to see from an attacking perspective.
Wait. Set!
5.5 or so minutes to the break. As Tui feeds again. Tui snipes in. Munchins are asleep at the base of the scrum here, and Tui's got O'Leary. O'Leary's got a one-on-one here with Tapau if he decides to go on the outside, but he goes on the inside. O'Leary's so hard to stop there. Wood does very well to tackle, but that ball looks to have been ripped from the ground, and we may see a card here. Stuart Donaldson, Gordon Wood picked the pocket of Neville O'Leary there. And Johnny Holland, something you highlighted in the game earlier on, the fact that Munchins were putting their flanker to first receiver. Credit has to go to PBC there for identifying that to go toward the scrum half.
I thought we were at the pro game all of a sudden. Keane Bohan's down there looking at what looks like an iPad. He was looking at the last scrum, and all of a sudden Liam Tui, that actually, once he did that, it reminded me, they did that last year. You know, Liam Tui had a couple of breaks off the scrum like that last year because Oisin Minogue went out too far.
Alderson has the ball at his feet as he looks towards the line, but Munchins repelled the attack for the time being. Tackle has been there, but he looks to be held up over the line.
Don't.
PBC have had so much joy in the Munchins 22 there. Credit goes to Munchins for defending. Alderson being held up over the line, so we will restart with a goal line dropout.
Behind the kicker!
Barry Murphy was calling for the ball to go off the pitch in open play. It can't go here, so Munchins will need to ensure that their chase line is linked together. Wood kicks it long, fielded by Fitzgerald. Fitzgerald finds O'Leary. O'Leary looks up and summarises. Takes three tacklers from Munchins to bring him down.
It's your own ball.
But they do just that. Tui looks left, goes left. O'Leary Kareem has a little inside pop, still surveying as they go. O'Leary Kareem gets outside. Williamson is a lovely little offload, but that has just gone forward.
Just forward.
And you really cannot take your eyes off this PBC attack, Johnny Holland.
No, and Gene O'Leary Kareem there, he's stepping up as first receiver a lot. He's actually distributing a lot of ball from 13, Barry, isn't he? Something you were very, very good at doing as well. Big handoff. But he is, isn't he? He's actually controlling the middle of the pitch.
Yeah, it's the variety, I suppose, that he's got. He's got everything in his arsenal, and Munchins would keep expecting him to run, but once you've got an offload game going as well and a passing game, it's just the threats are across the back line entirely.
Wait, no. Set!
Munchins will restart the game. McDermott with the feed. Ball is at the feet of Minogue at 8.
Pass back in.
Tom Wood looks up and sends a bomb high into the sky. Munchins chasing through Matt Tapau. It's well fielded by Fitzgerald, but Tapau has won that race, and Munchins tackle just short of the PBC line. PBC have added a lot of bodies to resource that ruck. Tui finds Murphy. Murphy to O'Leary. Kareem O'Leary to Squires. Squires finds Neville O'Leary, who's had open season running, but he's well marshalled by Cusack, the 13, as PBC on this right hand touchline. Ball is out there, and good knowledge from Black, and it's a great little dink ahead from Black, and it's well marshalled again by O'Leary. Kareem, he has a look up. He's opposite number, makes the tackle, but Charlie Black, Callum Black, excuse me, the second row, about 6'5" or so, hammered the PBC captain and referee Donaldson. We'll have a word with his touch judge.
Seems like it's low force. Yeah. And I think probably penalty only.
Better defensive structure from St Munchins there, Baz, and getting into the right areas, but just a little bit of discipline costing us 3 high tackles now.
Yeah, it is. And that's
Captain, please.
A sign of how tired they're getting. Callum Black put the kick in there, chased his own kick. Maybe mitigating factor is that there was a tackle initially made. He was the second man in, but you just have to be wide, don't you, about coming in too high. It almost looked like chest on face of Kareem O'Leary, or O'Leary Kareem. But
the 3 high tackles, okay?
Yeah, he's mentioned it there, hasn't he? 3 high tackles.
Bended hips, okay? And this player's considered very,
I think the mad thing here is that Prez look like they're
please.
down numbers in attack all the time. They look like they're gone down dark alleys, and Munchins have numbers up in them. And it's just because of their skill set that we mentioned earlier, and maybe their threat on the ball as well. With less numbers on that side they're attacking at times, they still get away with it.
Yeah, just head on head there, I think, wasn't it? Nothing too serious. Good decision again from the referee. I think he's got pretty much everything right here today.
Murphy finds touch. That wind is favouring St Munchins on this side of the field.
Just step up. Yeah, fine.
As well, seeing as Johnny Holland has been slow to update us weather-wise this afternoon.
Swirling into the stand from the other side, isn't it?
Pádraig Doyle has Murphy in the middle. Murphy does well. Little check in the front. It's a good delivery as Murphy finds Tui, and Alderson is used as the crash option. James O'Leary with the pass. Squires, Oscar Squires with the carry, but Minogue and Tommy O'Driscoll get to grips. As Tui finds Murphy, and it's a nice little unders line there for PBC, but so far Munchin's defence has stood up. O'Leary Kareem gets on the outside of Williamson, and O'Leary Kareem is off on a gallop, and it's a little hand tap tackle, but PBC running absolute riot here. Alderson is going to go the whole distance, is he? PBC are going to score their 5th try of the afternoon. Incredible play. You tend to run out of superlatives to describe the attack there, Johnny Holland, but forwards linking with backs. Out of nothing, O'Leary Kareem makes the break, and PBC absolutely stunning score again.
I think Barry actually scoffed while he did it. What are you supposed to do? Yeah, what are you supposed to do? It looked like, again, they were 3 in defence, 2 in attack, and Gene O'Leary Kareem just decided to have a little bit of a pump, a little bit of a step, and he's just gone through another tackle. It's mad.
It's exciting to see, lads, isn't it? I think in Munster in particular, we haven't been producing centres for a long time, and this young man here, he showed everything you want from a natural 13 there. It was understanding that he kept his defence narrow, just had a little bit of an overs, got around the outside of his opposite number, then he was faced with a forward on outside him, gassed him, had the ball in one hand, which is not ideal. Well, what does he do with the ball in one hand? Shows an outrageous offload. I mean, this guy is absolutely on fire, and so exciting for him, for Prez, and for Munster going forward.
Game recognises game. They're a centre saying that there hasn't been much talent since you were playing the game. How modest of you. Barry Murphy here as O'Leary Kareem lines up the conversion. Alderson with the try. PBC in red hat form as O'Leary Kareem right footed sends that straight through the posts, and referee Stuart Donaldson says that will be enough for the first half here in Virgin Media Park in this Pinergy Munster Schools Senior Cup semi-final coverage in association with the Irish Examiner. Johnny Holland, I'm going to come to you first. We will get to the play in a second. The scoreline last season was 35 points to 10. This game is not over, but St Munchins will be asking a lot of questions as to how they can get back into the game. How would you envisage to do that?
You have to wonder how they're going to. I can't remember what the conditions were like last year, but the wind is going to be into them here, and they're trailing by a big enough scoreline. Funnily enough, the last time I saw a centre kicking like that after scoring tries was Gary Ringrose at UCD against us in Con. I was playing and I was unfortunately on the other side of it, watching him kicking a conversion to draw the game and step a couple of times around me as well. But that's the level we're talking about here at the moment in this game. They're absolutely on fire in the back line, and you know, one more score at the start of the second half from present, there's absolutely no way Munchins are coming back from that.
It's going to be Al Pacino any given Sunday kind of time in the St. Munchins half. But Barry, let's focus on how good PBC's attack was. They've scored 5 tries in that first half through Wigington, Barrett, Gene O'Leary, Kareem with 2, and Alex Alderson with the try along with Neville O'Leary. Adam O'Shaughnessy responded. We thought we were in for a ding-dong battle at 7-5 after 10 minutes, but Praise have just been pretty much untouchable with ball in hand.
Untouchable. The skill level, left to right, whether, you know, you're passing off your left or right, the passing has been absolutely phenomenal. The understanding of space, just the little actions as well. Players with their hands up, showing where they want the pass. I mean, that just gives you an indication of at the level that they're at. It's not just give me the ball, it's I want it here. It's been so impressive to watch. Feeling very sorry for the Munchins lads. That's a tough half of rugby to put down. And as Johnny said, like, it's probably about just get the net score for Munchins. Just try and find something to pull them back into it. And you know, if they can make a game of this second half, it's start from scratch. That's the only way they can go into the second half.
Indeed, Johnny, from the perspective of PBC, they certainly can't take their eyes off the prize here with knowing that. So how do you continue in the second half with a first half that's pretty much been perfect?
I think it just remind them of last year, isn't it? And field position is going to be important. I mean, the wind is in their favour, but you can't rely on that either. They've played the way they have without that wind, so you need to keep going after it. But I think last year is a very good reminder, and also, you know, I'm not saying the game is done, but if you're Christians watching this, you know, the more praise can put on this scoreboard, the more fright you're putting into them as well. So you're putting down a marker for a potential next game too. Indeed.
The score at half-time in this Pinergy Munster School Senior Cup semi-final in association with the Irish Examiner, 33 points to 5. We will be back after these.
Top teams in the world come together in the Six Nations.
The energy transition is happening. Now is the time to change. Time to move from polluting to preserving, consuming to creating. Time to act on your energy. To understand it, save it, even sell it. Because today's decisions will transform tomorrow. Pinergy, powering energy transition.
To all the fans out there, we know how much you care. To everyone who believes this could be their year,
So much. And then the quality of rugby that's been played.
we're always here. Wherever your team or heroes roam, there's one place we can all call home. The Irish Examiner, where sport lives.
Wigington, Barron with the try, and Captain O'Leary Black and Foley. They go towards the middle of the line, and it's Black who carries very well. And the ball is in the hands here of Adam O'Shaughnessy, and Munchins are very close to the line. Prez struggling to get there, and O'Shaughnessy, the first entry into the 22 for both. Up and buys his team some time to defend here. Prez again calling in the artillery to carry Minogue, doing all he can to stop the PBC side, but the onslaught will continue here. Murphy looks for O'Leary Kareem, and much like the final 12
case of if he's going to score was when he's going to score. That's what makes it early. If he can get on the scoreboard again, Munchins will be in trouble. But just getting back to the referee, trying to cut him down, leaving Oisin Minogue on his own with James O'Leary, and it's again the two centres really causing trouble.
We're going to see a 5-metre variation here. I can't even see the ball myself as Tui goes towards O'Leary Kareem, and O'Leary Kareem has scored again. And O'Leary Kareem drills the ball through the posts. As the ball restarted by Wood finds O'Leary again. Grace and Minogue both miss O'Leary, and O'Leary is running riot here. James looking left and right as he's trying to keep Matt DePow honest. But Neville O'Leary has got lots of gas. His brother on the right hand side, and O'Leary is going. Matt DePow's going to try and stop him, but he's not going to do it. O'Leary Kareem gets on the outside of Williamson, and O'Leary Kareem is off on a gallop, and it's a little hand tap tackle. But PBC running absolute riot here. Alderson is going to go the whole distance. Is he? PBC are going to score their 5th try of the afternoon. O'Leary Kareem, right-footed, sends that straight through the posts, and referee Stuart Donaldson says you're very welcome back to Virgin Media Park for this Pinergy Munster School Senior Cup semi-final in association with the Irish Examiner. 33 points to 5. PBC lead at half-time. You're in the capable hands of Barry Murphy, Johnny Holland and myself, Dara Frawley. There was much discussed at half-time, lads, but it's going to be very interesting, Barry Murphy, to see how this second half goes.
Yeah, it is. I mean, Munchins just fighting for a bit of pride here, there, I think, to get things started. You know, Ger Slap, he'll have put a bit of fire in the belly, maybe change things up, box a little bit smarter in this half, but the wind seems to have died off a little bit, so hopefully they might get a little bit of field position, but it's going to be impossible to stop this freight train that is Prez at the moment.
35-10 was the score at half-time last year in the semi-final. It finished 35-29. If we get half the game we did this second half, we're in for a real treat. The ball is in the hands of Charlie Grace. Looks to have fumbled that.
Hands away, no leave it.
The referee says it's gone backwards. Munchins through Black.
Roll
The
tackler.
second row is done well.
Pass back in.
Set piece and in the open. And Munchins look like they're going to play in this second half. Lovely delivery from Wood, finds his outside centre, Adam Cusack. And something we didn't see in the first half is Munchins building phases. As Charlie Grace breaks straight through the middle, wonderful pass. Grace shaped as if he was going to chip over the top there. He's well tackled by Declan Fitzgerald, but again, brilliant placement from Grace allows Munchins to set up a second attack. Wood spots Minogue and Black. The second row gets a lovely offload to Tapau. Tapau passes to the replacement, number 23, Alex Quinn for St. Munchins. Munchins really up in the gear here as Wood
No hands, no, leave it.
finds Foley on the carry. Slower ball there. You can hear the PBC players calling collisions on the ref mic, but Tapau has a little bit of open space in front of him. Gets over the 10 metre line, goes out to the left hand side there. Munchins showing good inventiveness in attack. But referee Donaldson says Munchins holding on the ground, and good breakdown work there by Neville O'Leary and co on that right hand side. But the start that Munchins probably needed in the second half there, Johnny.
Yeah, it was, and we actually haven't seen the Prez defence being tested.
Right,
all of a sudden they tested it, and it looked a bit passive, didn't it? So something for them to go by. But Alex Quinn is on here in the wing as well for Ben O'Mahony, and Alex got a try in the group, didn't he? In the group game, so an obvious change there to try and spark something.
Yeah.
Fortune certainly favours the brave, and Munchins are going to have to be very brave in this second half, and you could see with the likes of Wood, Cusack, Williamson and the introduction of Quinn that they are intent on playing. Charlie Grace with several goose steps there.
Yeah, it was a nice break, wasn't it? Took a really good line. It just opened up in front of him. Thought he might do a chip, but there was a few dummies probably better off to hold on to the ball because there was plenty of cover in the backfield.
Let's have you, gents. Let's have you.
Alex Alderson down here in the near touchline getting treatment as the replacement. Charlie Donnelly looks to go in.
Change here, gents. Just wait.
And it looks to be changed straight away. Donnelly comes in for Alderson, the vice captain.
Who's off, gents?
For
Who's off? Who's off, gents?
PBC.
Who's gone off? Who's off, gents? Forwards in the midfield, gents. Is he gone?
Let's hope Alex Alderson is okay there as he's taken off by PBC. Pádraig Doyle has the ball in his hand. Look to go towards the front. Foley gets up for Munchins but doesn't quite get there. Wonderful delivery from Murphy and O'Leary. And O'Leary Kareem, nice little pop on the inside to Neville O'Leary, and Neville O'Leary cutting through. He's got William DeBerry on the outside, but O'Leary's going to go himself. He's not going to be stopped by Tapau in time. And O'Leary scores. And it's a case of don't fix it if it's not broken. Barry Murphy, scintillating attack there again. A lovely little line on the inside shoulder by Neville O'Leary. The O'Leary's dominating here this afternoon in Cork.
Absolutely incredible. I mean, he was the one that won the penalty in the first place for the ball to go to touch. And look, the delivery wasn't even incredible off the top of the lineup. Munchins actually put them under a lot of pressure, but what a finish. Long-ranging stride, perfect line off the outside of O'Leary, and that's just, as I said, they were put under pressure at the top of the line out. Scrum half managed to get his pass away. Wasn't crisp, but it didn't stop them from just throwing two gorgeous wide passes and then just a beautiful line, and Munchins split open again. What a finish.
It's going O'Leary, Kareem, O'Leary. That's literally how it went.
Makes my job a hell of a lot easier.
Yeah, but they crowded in the midfield. They got a big pass from James O'Leary to O'Leary Kareem, and he just put it off his shoulder to Neville O'Leary.
To Barry's point there, in terms of disguising that, Neville O'Leary would have started on the inside shoulder of Murphy, there. So for it to come in, it's a very hard read for that Munchins defence.
It is, but you have to hit everything on your inside shoulder now. That's the way the defence are going, defending the ball, everything on your inside shoulder. So you can't look outside. You have to hit everything on the inside, and that's where they found the gap.
O'Leary Kareem, right-footed, strikes well, but just tails off to the right-hand side, and the score just on the cusp of the 40-minute mark here in this Pinergy Munster School Senior Cup semi-final is PBC 38, St Munchins 5. 6 tries for PBC. Their attack has been scintillating. Gordon Wood, his kickoffs in the first half were landing about 15 metres inside the PBC half, and he'll do just the same again as Minogue looks to challenge, and it's picked up by Quinn. Has had a number of involvements as the young man since been introduced at half time for O'Mahony. Right. Wood, the space on here. Wood skips Williamson and it goes out to Cusack, the outside centre. Cusack finds his winger on the outside. Garrod O'Brien, Munchins into the 22 for the first time in the second half. Loose head finds
release tackler.
Black on the inside. McDermott finds Grace. Serious work
release
right
tackler
all afternoon. Made a lovely break at the start of the second half as McDermott has O'Driscoll on the outside, and referee Donaldson says PBC's indiscretion will allow Munchins.
Just because you're kicking over my weight, okay?
If you were to have one criticism of Prez, I think that defensive passive nature, again, if they were to defend their own attack, they'd be in serious trouble. So they should be used to defending that in training, surely, and they're sitting off quite a bit, giving Munchins a bit too much time. I'm sure the coaches will be looking into that with their sideline iPad analysis. They should be able to see that they're gone a little bit lateral in defence.
I'm trying to think of the name of a really old mobile phone that it could be, but actually can't. That's how old I am. Wood has an opportunity to go to the corner here. They did score in the first 10 minutes. Try through hooker. Adam O'Shaughnessy had the scores level at one stage, but it's been all PBC thus far.
Yeah, they just haven't been allowed play at all for all, have they? We saw that one opportunity they had in the first half to kick to the corner, got a try from it, and I think there was a couple of moments at the end of the second half when they were allowed play. But on another day, this Munchins side, they might have been able to play their own style a little bit more. But
wait, hold.
It's just been completely controlled by Prez since the get-go.
Gents, they're going to play on here, okay?
Number of players down as the introduction of number 22, Mark Hetherington,
let's go.
Comes into the PBC side. There's a PBC player in the dead ball area receiving attention as a Munchins player, but referee Donaldson says we'll play on as Wood drives the ball into the corner, and Munchins, we know what's coming here. Barry Murphy, the maul in the first couple of minutes.
Yeah, it was unstoppable at the start. As you said, they kept it very simple, went to black at number 2, and imagine something similar on this occasion.
Looks like Ben O'Mahony is coming back in. Gerard O'Brien looking for attention as the open side for PBC. Cormac Bowen gets his hand in, and Munchins will be bitterly disappointed to lose that line out, but Prez getting up in front.
No hands, no hands!
The hand of Bowen pinching the ball. PBC 33 points ahead, but not taking their eyes off the prize. As we said last season, 35 points to 10 at half time in favour of PBC, and the game finished 35-29. Game's been a little bit stop-start here.
Right, gents, a nice clean game. Don't get involved. You or you, okay?
As Stuart Donaldson, short and sharp, the headmaster role as the referee, let the game flow all afternoon.
Yeah, that's fine.
Looks like Gerard O'Brien will not continue on the other side. That change looks to be enforced as Ben O'Mahony comes back in. O'Mahony had been replaced by Alex Quinn. So the St. Munchins wingers now, Ben O'Mahony and Alex Quinn.
We'll just wait, gents, as he close to the pitch, okay?
The stop-start nature, Johnny Holland will suit PBC here, and something that they definitely want to do is try and kill any momentum that Munchins may get in the second half.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, I mean, they created their own flow in the first half, but when you're that far ahead, you don't really want to make it a looser game, so they'll get plenty of time to chat to each other and make sure that Munchins don't get any rhythm here. But he's been down for quite a while there, Gerard O'Brien. I hope he's okay. I hope it's not too serious.
I think it might be actually Cusack that's down, lads. He made the break down the left-hand side.
Yeah.
Yes, it is Cusack, yeah. Barry Murphy's eagle eye. Munchins go towards the tail of the line out, but that ball wasn't straight.
Not straight, gents. Not straight.
Referee Donaldson gives the scrum to PBC, and Ger Slattery and Cole Munchins will be bitterly disappointed. A set piece that they would have looked to target it early doors has faltered on 2 occasions in 22, Baz.
Yeah, they went to 2 again on the 5 metre just a couple of minutes ago, and throw didn't seem to be there wasn't enough power behind it. They lost it, so this time trying to vary it by going a little bit to the back, whereas I think they would have been better served to just tick it to Sinner. And as you can see here, the setup here from Oisin Minogue again. Going in 9, knowing the rules, but leaving a gaping hole again.
Munchins turned that ball over there as Minogue carries.
Release tackler. Ball's there.
Was in at 9. Fortuitous from Munchins, but they're playing ball here on the 5 metre line, carried through the hooker O'Shaughnessy. You get the feeling Munchins will need to score here to put pressure on Munchins. Big gap as the ball bounces in behind Wood. And Hetherington lays a boot in it, as does O'Leary Kareem, and Matt DePau does well. Pass lands in the hands of Gerard O'Brien. They go towards touch. We will restart with a PBC line out. We've got a litany of players down on both sides, hopefully just cramp.
Just step away, gents. Just step away from a minute.
James O'Leary can do it all here. He's physio now to the Munchins players too, fixing a little bit of cramp. But it must have been an error in that scrum, because you can only push a metre, so it must have been an error on the hook or something, but because there was a turnover that you won't see from a complete drive. But you can see Cian Bohan here, Prez coach, signalling for all the backfield space that Prez aren't really, using for their exit. A fella now that would not have kicked the ball too far himself, but he's able to see it on the sideline. He's trying to get that message into his players.
Harry Murphy returns. His war wounds have been bandaged up. But to that point, Baz, regardless of the score, and you said they had to wipe the slate clean, Munchins have got into this PBC 22 3 times now, and they've really wasted it. If they want to get back into this game and get a couple of scores, and you never know what might happen, they have to start converting chances.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's the only way they're going to build confidence now. And they've left 3 opportunities there behind. Just really sloppy play. A couple of lineouts that went in miss, and then just a sloppy pass there, just going over Tom Wood's head, just inviting Prez onto it, really.
It is Adam Cusack who is getting attention. The back part of your screen there. The ball in the hands of Porrick Doyle. Prez going with a 5-man lineout. Murphy, Foley and Cole along with Cole have done well.
You're inside.
That lineout. Go towards the front. It's well taken again by Bowen. Carry by Prez just outside.
Go back in.
As the forwards are called in as Billy Cronin carries well.
Use it.
Tui right-footed drills that one back in. It's fielded by Tapau. Has a little look up. Gordon Wood tells him have a run himself. Tapau runs
Release,
it back
release,
into
no hands.
heavy PBC traffic.
Step.
Munchins look to attack through the short side.
10 off
And
feet.
PBC, you heard clearly there. Referee Donaldson says Prez were off their feet. There'll be another opportunity here for Wood to send Munchins down the line. He does just that, right-footed, but it's acrobatically kept in there incredibly by Wigington Barrett. And PBC are going to look to attack, but Murphy, right-footed,
Stay.
finds a superb touch with the right boot. And however acrobatic that was from Wigington Barrett, there seems to be a small bit of a dust-up here on the right-hand side. Brought both crowds to life here. Certainly a disagreement of sorts. Referee Donaldson has his hands full here.
I think what Prez have to be careful of here is a red card ends there finally. You know, red card for Munchins, they might not be getting to a final anyway.
Both sets of players. Situation for now seems to be diffused. We'll wait to hear Stuart Donaldson's conversation between Gavin Lynch-Frall and Martin Ryan.
For Munchins continuing on long after fucking. Okay.
I think we saw it a bit earlier that Munchins were leaving a small bit in there after the exit, after the Prez players had kicked. If you were to speculate, you'd probably think that something like that happened again. But you asked earlier what are Prez to do if they're going to make sure they put this one to bed. And you know, Barry, you were on a bit earlier. Harry Murphy putting that ball long and off the pitch. Very
long after. Yeah,
easy
long
things that you
after
can do to kill the game off and stop the Munchins rhythm.
Okay.
It's actually a great kick from Tom Wood to the touchline, but unbelievably kept in.
Captain, gents.
And just that's just at this point of the game, and the game is won. That's very impressive for them to
And
still
number 9, captain and 9.
go to
Captain
those
and 9.
extremes. Boys will be boys, hopefully here, lads.
Stop now. Stop.
Wigington Barrett did incredibly well to keep the ball in. He's over getting his calf stretches. Oisin Minogue and Rory McDermott are summoned, as is Gene O'Leary Kareem.
Right, gents, we've a good clean game till now, okay?
Yeah, no.
Lots of stuff on after the ball.
Morris
You two
Minogue,
have continued on
Minogue,
long
the
after
sole
I've been blowing
survivor.
Sorry, apologies.
Referee
pocket.
Okay, we're going to go back here.
wrong pocket.
Continue on,
A
gents, right?
sharp intake of breath from myself included and both sets of fans, but it's just a yellow card. So at this level, 7 minutes
Wrong pocket.
in the bin.
He did
Wrong pocket,
apologise and
gents,
say wrong pocket.
Stuart Donaldson has been excellent all afternoon in his decision making and communication with both sets of players.
Come on, step in.
PBC and Munchins will be down to 14. So it's a rejig. McDermott at 9 will be interesting to see. It looks like Ben O'Mahony will fill in at scrum half for the Limerick side.
Gorgeous spiral there from the ball boy. Not seen enough of them, as Ronan O'Gara said on Off the Ball last week. Well, there you go, Raj.
It's easy to say that when you're the best at spiralling the ball, isn't it? You should all do what I did and spiral the ball really well.
Slow news week for Rogers Spirals as Munchins restart and Black finds the ball. Wood spots Minogue and it's Williamson. A good carry on the inside. Munchins getting easy yards as the tight head Oscar Vitalins carries. Huge unit is Vitalins, a lovely out the back there, and Wood has got space here, and Minogue has got space in front of him as well. PBC struggling to get to grips with the Munchins captain. Committed to the cause as Wood finds O'Shaughnessy, but he's well tackled by PBC. Vitalins just about juggles it.
Seven, leave it.
Does well to regather. O'Mahony finds Wood. Wood little dink over the top. Referee Donaldson is going to go to the pocket here. It's going to be the right one this time, and it's going to be another yellow card for PBC. And with 20 or so minutes to go here, 33 points. The deficit for Munchins to turnover, but they've got 7 or so minutes just over against 13 men with Oscar Squires sin binning. And if anything is to happen here, Barry Murphy, Munchins have to score.
Yeah, he earned that one well, didn't he, Tom Woods? He left it very late for the chip. It felt like Squires was committed to it.
10.
But yeah, I think this is, with 2 in the bin, this is a massive opportunity. 2 forwards in the bin as well, a big opportunity for Munchins to get that try that will just spur them on to finish with as much pride as they possibly can.
Wood finds touch. Munchins 5 metres out. They've used Black towards the front of the line out. That's where they got most profits. Black towards the middle. Prez try and get up and steal, but Munchins have gotten down and they've settled that maul as Minogue carries, and Minogue's very hard to stop from this area, and he looks to have gotten the ball down there, and Captain Minogue gets Munchins' second try of the afternoon, their first in the second half. And it's 38 points to 10 with a conversion to come. As we said, this PBC side down to 13, Munchins down to 14. And it's no more Barry Murphy than Munchins deserve based on their second half performance.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly, this is what they would have wanted. It's just a bit of pride. It wasn't the perfect line out. Maul broke away too soon, but what a finish from Minogue. He actually kind of started the move a few minutes ago, the big break down the left-hand side. Such a powerful player. He's been asked to do an awful lot in defence today. He would have liked to have seen a lot more ball in hand, just showing what he can do there. Ended up on his back, but did really well to get the hand down.
Munchins try scores today through Adam O'Shaughnessy and Captain Minogue as Wood left-footed. It's about 15.5 metres in from that left-hand touchline. Wood delicately strikes it, and it's a brilliant kick into the wind there. And that leaves the score 38 points to 12, 18 minutes on the clock. Praise Johnny Holland, and absolutely no rush to take this restart.
Can you blame them? I think it's going to be a race against the clock. I think that's just still too big a deficit. Maybe they'll rattle their cage a small bit, but you're not going to make that up, I'd say. But Barry, back to your point, you see a lot of good attacking players on the Munchins side that you just haven't really seen them with the ball in hand. Matt Tapau hasn't really gotten on the front foot. And Oisin Minogue the same, like he's a ferocious player, but we just haven't been able to see him in attacking us.
Grace feels O'Leary's restart. Ben O'Mahony filling in at 9 because of Rory McDermott sin binning, and Wood slinging the ball out to Minogue. Steps on the inside, and Minogue on the move brings Munchins just outside the 22, still fighting in contact. Is Minogue.
Pass back in.
O'Mahony looks to Wood shape the kick, but zips it on the outside, and Munchins finding a little bit of space. As we said, PBC down to 13 men, so there is space on the field as Munchins through Wood again, steps on the inside. Lovely little offload, second rows combining between Black and Foley. The ball being juggled around there. Munchins throwing caution into the wind here. Their fans coming back into the game. Wood goes on the negative side. He's got second row in front of him. Does Tapau, who's done very well. Nice little offload there to loosehead Peter Dugan. Munchins fans haven't had a lot to shout about this afternoon, but they're in full voice here to our left. Wood zips it out to the try scorer O'Shaughnessy, who does well. Wood again finds Tapau. Tapau's got Minogue coming like a freight train on the outside, but he's well tackled by the Prez defence. Slower ball here for O'Mahony. It's juggled there by Black, has got through an incredible amount of work as the big second row for Munchins. O'Mahony again to Wood. Wood's got a number of runners there, but it's just juggled there. Tommy O'Driscoll drops the ball.
And I think Prez are finding the pace tough, aren't they?
Bodies from both sides hit the ground there. Johnny Holland, as a former 10 with a very good eye for the game. Wood and Murphy, two very good surveyors of the game, and Wood trying to find space as best he can.
Yeah, I think the best part about the two 10s on the pitch at the moment is that we're not seeing a lot of their own breaks, but we're seeing a lot of players run off them. I think that's a really good sign that they've more mass in putting other people into space, and they're doing it really well. You see Neville O'Leary, it was I wouldn't say a liability, but he wasn't able to chase anyone back if he was asked to, because he's done so much running today. He's starting to cramp, but we've seen that a bit on both sides. Obviously the surface is a little bit tougher to play on here as well. They don't play on it in their home grounds, but we're definitely seeing the pace of the game in the first half coming back to bite some of the players here.
Yeah, ball in play time in the first half. Oh, to be young again, Barry Murphy.
Captain or pack
Charlie
leader.
Og Murphy.
Pack leader.
Og Sheehan, excuse me, son of Frankie Sheehan, has entered the fray.
77, okay, 77 is.
A great character by all accounts.
Absolutely.
At scrum half, and Neville O'Leary's race is run an outstanding performance.
Yeah.
77 in score.
Yeah, he's
77.
he can really open up. It was incredible to see that try he got just after half time. Or as we said, he came from the far right wing, picked the ball up around the halfway line, but he didn't seem to pick up his full speed until he got to the opposition 22. We saw something similar on the right hand side here in the first half, where he haired up after his brother to get the finishing touches. So what a performance from him. One to remember for a long time.
Just seems to coast along the same pace as he's walking off the pitch this afternoon as he was in attack.
6v6.
Time on the sin bins is up, but you hear referee Stuart Donaldson saying 6v6 at age grade rugby. Oisin Minogue and Charlie Grace nestled into that back line either side of Wood and Williamson. PBC have Murphy, O'Leary and O'Leary Kareem. Still down a man as Frankie O'Sheen feeds the scrum.
Pass back in.
Back to Murphy, no nonsense. Sends the ball down and it's knocked on by the replacement. Alex Quinn and Prez through O'Leary are running riot here. Throw the ball outside, trying to keep the ball alive here. 6 or 7 metres short. O'Leary Kareem looking for a hat-trick, but he's tackled. Cousin James goes forward, but Williamson does well to get to grips with his opposite number. Sheehan finds Foley. Foley's hammered back in contact.
Look, the rip was fine, then he knocked on, okay?
Referee Donaldson says the rip was fine, but it's a knock on, and we'll restart with a scrum for Price.
It's a knock on.
As McDermott for Munchins and Minogue re-enter the fray.
Hey, gents, start over here.
It'll be 15 on 14 as Oscar Squires is still in the bin for PBC. An unfortunate error from St. Munchins has allowed PBC there, but it was well picked up by Luke Siscomani, the replacement. St. Munchins make another change, number 24. Carl Glynn enters the play. Looks like Danny Williamson, but he's going back in.
77.
Strange setup, isn't it, when you're looking at 7 backs in the back line off a scrum. But
you can't start there, you have to start in the far side, okay? You can't start there at 7v7, gents, okay? You got to start in the far side.
Referee Donaldson yet again clear in the communication. Ball in the hands of Frankie O'Sheen. Plenty of replacements on both sides here. The pace of the game has been frightening. The surface, people feeling it in the legs big time. Even in the stands you'd feel. As O'Sheen feeds.
Stay full bound 7.
O'Leary shaping to be first receiver, and he is just that. O'Leary carries very hard. Wood and Minogue bring him to ground. They go on the outside. It's another good carry by Foley again. But it's just knocked on there, and Munchins will restart with a scrum. 12 and a half for some minutes to go. Johnny Holland, you'd imagine that PBC will be happy with how they've managed this. Certainly not as many scares as there was last season.
Yeah, absolutely. But I think if you're the coaches there, you do get quite selfish about things. You're looking at why you're not kicking on in the second half. And I'm sure they'll look back at that on video and point out a couple of things, you know, because you can't score so much in the first half and then not really kick on in the second half. I think the part that I've been really impressed by, and you know, I'm sure the coaches will be as well, as Alex Quinn dropped that ball, unfortunately for him, President stopped.
Yeah.
They really pounced on it, and that just shows a little bit of a mindset, doesn't it? And then I think James O'Leary in the middle of the pitch, he has a lot of subtlety around his game for a guy who's so powerful in the middle of the pitch. Maybe because he's been playing a couple of years above himself for so long, he has to maybe build those skills too, but he's got a lot of both sides of the power and the skill.
Munchins through Williamson. Wood, lovely distribution there. Finds Quinn on the outside.
Back.
Ball goes backwards there as Callum Black carries yet again for Munchins. McDermott finds Wood, right-footed. Will find grass there as McDermott tries to play a little bit of soccer with it. There's a collision in midfield there. And it's Maurice Minogue, fresh from his 7 minutes in the bin, who cleans it up, and Murphy.
Release!
His praise just 5 metres in from that right-hand touchline. O'Leary again through sets of hands, and Billy Cronin finds a soft shoulder. Cries a yes, Billy, from the PBC faithful. Oak Sheehan, O'Leary shaped to kick, goes out the back to Murphy. Murphy,
Roll tackler.
Minogue. One man he certainly didn't want to run into there. Oak Sheehan again, James O'Leary at first receiver. Steps on the inside and out or nothing, makes another gap here. He's got Frankie O'Sheehan on his left hand side if he wants to use him. And O'Leary is looking towards the line here. O'Leary in a fight with Wood and he goes into touch. And probably the only thing that James O'Leary has done wrong all afternoon, Barry Murphy, but again, something from nothing to make the break.
Yeah, he's a selfless kind of player. You can see he was looking for the offload constantly. I mean, what a break. Again, just spots, he's got great right foot step. And then, to be fair to Tom Wood, he's communicating really well. Oh, sorry, it wasn't, but it's the communication to Tom Wood from his fullback, Matt Tapau. Great strength from Tom Wood to knock him into touch in the corner. But yeah, I mean, that's just incredible footwork. As I said, he's looking to offload the ball constantly, O'Leary. He wants to be a playmaker, wants to put players away. And Prez would love to finish this game off with a score, having been kept quiet for the last 20 minutes.
David Gagan and Billy Power come in to replace Charlie Grace. And the try scorer, Adam O'Shaughnessy, sees Munchins try a little trick play at the front of the line-out. And it is a very, very good carry and good yards from Tommy O'Driscoll. McDermott finds Wood. He's got a number of options out the back, but he decides to do just that and finds Billy Power, the replacement. Munchins with nothing to lose here, throwing the ball around. Matt DePau with good footwork finds a little bit of space. But Munchins run out of room on that touchline, and PBC's defence means PBC will restart with the line out. Pace, Johnny Allen seems to have gone out of the game a little bit, but you can't really blame them with how frightening the pace was for the first 40 or so minutes.
Yeah, and I think it's probably the nature of it as well. Like, it's very hard for any team at any level to really kick on when you're that far ahead. Like, I mean, human nature gets into the brain, doesn't it? And you just start to think you've got your job done. But someone I've been very impressed with, even within the potential loss here, is Tom Wood. He looks like a big physical player, but he can kick really well off both feet. I'd say he's got conversions off both feet too. You know, so it's been impressive.
No doubt they were taught how to kick. Father Keith at hooker enjoyed doing it in his career.
No hands, leave it!
Munchins turned the ball over here. McDermott.
Roll tackler.
Finds his pack again, and McDermott going down the blind of Wood. Little spot runner from Foley.
No hands! Step, Jen, step.
McDermott again towards Power. Power to Wood. Wood to Black.
Vantage not gone.
Ball is just dropped forward.
Or look, Jen, not gone.
Tight head Oscar Vitalin tried the old Diego Maradona keepy uppies there, but didn't quite happen. St. Munchins make the change. Number 21 Jared Arnold comes in, and for PBC number 18 Diarmuid Shee, number 25 Evan O'Dowd coming on. Diarmuid Shee in fourth year with PBC was described by a number of PBC's coaching staff as a sizable unit. Kid's got a big future. James O'Leary, Johnny, going back to that, Junior Cup 2 years ago, won it. Senior Cup last year, won it.
Just listen.
Heading towards a final now, and he's underage again next year. It's scary statistically.
And hungry for it as well.
Yeah.
Look at the hold he's had on this game, you know, so he's not sitting back, which is great to see too.
You can see from the get-go was Munchin's intentions to try and stop him, try and slow him down. And that was, to them, was going to be the key for Munchins getting some sort of foothold in this game, and you can't blame them for that. It was good tactics, and they tried to apply it, but just more power to Prez for how they've used him and how and the players around him as well. How Harry Murphy has controlled it, how Leary Kareem has worked with him in the centre. It's been absolutely so impressive.
Stay bong.
Sheehan with the ball from the base. Finds Murphy. Murphy finds O'Leary Kareem. O'Leary Kareem finds Fitzgerald on the outside, but it's well tapped back there by Quinn. Was in an onside position as Tapau. Is tackled by Luke Siscomani.
You need to lower your tackle.
But again, Donaldson saying it's a high tackle.
Relax. Haven't given you the mark. Gents. Where's your mark?
I think Luke Siscomani was a step ahead of himself trying to push the tackle down to get the poach, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Wood, left-footed, rangy strike. He's going to drift back in, and Decky Fitzgerald looks up, and much to Barry Murphy's delight, and Johnny Holland sends a spiral into the hands of Gordon Wood. Gordon Wood in the evening sunshine in Cork. Zips a pass out to Williamson. Williamson has got Aaron Holt outside, and O'Leary absolutely hammers.
This is not what you want, is it?
Okay. Hold.
And a sharp intake of breath. We'd like to see that one again before making comment on it.
James O'Leary knows himself. You can see his hands to his face. So I'm hoping, for his sake, that this is out of the same pocket as the other ones.
Yeah.
Okay. No. Okay, 12,
Referee
please.
Stuart Donaldson not listening to Gene O'Leary.
Okay.
Kareem.
It is high, okay. No, that's it. It's high, okay. No, relax.
Wrong card again.
Yeah, it's a yellow card for James O'Leary there. Clear direction from Stuart Donaldson. Doesn't need to hear from Gene O'Leary. Kareem. And James, probably the right call there, seeing that on replay.
He's very high. There's no need for him to do. He does everything right. Gets his foot in really close.
He got a fright though.
Yeah.
You know, he knew what he did, and you know, you don't want to see a young fella getting taken out of the final despite his pocket full of medals. You want to be able to see the best players playing in the final.
Cian Bohan rigorously questioning James O'Leary. There was a sharp intake of breath as far away as Wilton after that tackle. So we head into the final 5 or so minutes. Oscar Vitelins and McDermott come off. Well taken on the line by Tommy O'Driscoll. Munchins will look to maul. Sun's come out here in Virgin Media Park in Cork.
Don't change your mind, Nadine. Don't change your mind. Don't change your mind. Do not change your mind.
Munchins still fighting to the very end here. Williamson, his first receiver, goes out the back to Wood. Wood has Ben O'Mahony in that position. It's well marshalled by the PBC defence. Brendan Minogue. Black again. He's had a phenomenal work rate all afternoon. The big second row from Munchins. Minogue to Wood. Lovely little flat pass there to the loose head. And it's Minogue. Oisín, the captain, on the outside with the carry, and referee Donaldson says PBC. And Gordon Wood, not interested in a quick tap, left-footed, pokes it into the corner. Johnny Allen, you could probably see Munchin's game plan was to take them on up front, but at half-time we asked the question, how were they going to get back into the game? It's very, very difficult when you have a Prez team as zippy and as good on the ball as they are in attack.
Yeah, and I think like Prez could have been questioned more in defence, but their greatest defence was actually that they just kept attacking, and they were so potent in attack that the questions weren't really asked of them. I suppose it's just something I was thinking to myself there. I need to roll back on that James O'Leary yellow card. It's important that the players are all okay, so it's the right call.
Yes,
you know.
yeah.
But it's for the spirit of the game. You'd hope that we don't see too many more of those tackles.
Black taps it back. Minogue to Minogue. Oisín to Brendan, that is. Williamson
No.
carries well.
You're on the ball. You're not on the ball. Ball's in.
Minogue again. Good to go down the blind as Wood. Good carry there by
Leave it 70. No.
Peter Dugan. The loose head for Munchins. Black again stands in as first receiver. Gets an offload. Big, long, rangy arms. It's David Gagan.
Release tackler.
The replacement. Carries in. Minogue again to Wood. Wood with good delivery to Tapau. Out towards Tommy O'Driscoll. The big rangy 6.
No, leave it!
PBC trying as they might to disrupt that St. Munchin's breakdown.
Release tackler, roll.
Minogue again. Driscoll
No, leave it 16.
with a good carry. Minogue breaks through in the middle of the ruck. Alan Quinlan.
No.
Minogue again. Matt Tapau. Tapau on the inside to Aaron Holt. There's a player for St. Munchin's down. Hopefully that's just cramp again as Minogue finds Wood. Wood finds Foley. Foley driven back. The referee is going to stop the game. And in the dying embers, you can forgive anybody who've cramped there.
Yeah, you'd have loved to see Munchins get a score for, I suppose, for the pride, as I've said already. I mean, it's this is schools rugby. You've guys here who've put in so much work over the years to all culminates in this one game. Parents dropping you to games, and just talking about three of the Munchins players, Tony Foley, Oisin Minogue, Tom Woods, who I know all grew up around the corner from each other in Killaloo, and this has been the dream of theirs, watching their dads play for Munchins and go on to big careers, and huge moments. The families have been driving them to games for training sessions for their entire school years, and it all comes down to the last few minutes, so you'd love to see them get one more score, go out with a bit of pride, and they've really started coming into the game in the second half, to be fair to them. But Prez still just so dominant, not wanting to give up an inch, and turning the ball over. Charlie Murphy diving on that one as the ball spilled out and winning the scrum.
Very well said. 2 minutes on the clock from Stuart Donaldson. The St. Munchins juniors away to our left-hand side. We'll play against Bandon after this. The weather looks to be absolutely perfect for that one.
Set!
So Sheehan feeds the scrum. Murphy right-footed.
You're inside.
And absolutely no doubt as to where he's sending that. And that is a big kick, and a superb kick right-footed, which lands play just up around the halfway line, and the perfect exit there, Johnny Holland.
There's confidence in that as well. You take that at any level. You know, the way he stood from the scrum on the right hand side of it, shortened his own angle and just pumped it to the halfway line anyway. That's incredible.
Johnny Holland saying in pre-match that it certainly wasn't Keane Bohan who taught him how to kick.
The Munchins chicken has finally arrived for us. We've been missing him for the entire game.
The rumours of a breakdown in Adair, but the chicken has arrived for St. Munchins. They restart with the line out on the halfway line. Goes over the top and it breaks, but it's in the hands of Minogue. 9 juggles it, hands it straight to Murphy. Doing brilliant at orchestrating all afternoon, and Frankie Oakshee in a lot of space here whichever way the ball bounces, and it's fielded just about, and Matt Tapau right-footed tries to dig it over the top. It's going to land in the hands, and PBC are going to finish with a flourish. Mark Hetherington, the replacement. PBC scintillating all afternoon, but making the most of fortune there, Barry Murphy.
Yeah, it was a brilliant option from the first place with the chip over the top, and although Minogue gathered, passed it to Matapau, at this point in the game he's just looking for any bit of a break, tries the chip, but again, as Johnny pointed out a few minutes ago, Prez still very hungry, still pressing really hard. Great chase, great block, and got the bounce of the ball as well.
Hetherington scores PBC's 7th try of the afternoon. There really can be no doubt as to who the team were on top here. This will be the final action of the game. Harry Murphy taking over the kicking duties as captain. O'Leary Kareem has departed the field. As Murphy seals the fate of St. Munchins in this Pinergy Munster School Senior Cup semi-final. The final score here in Cork, 43 points to 12 against a gallant St. Munchins side. Johnny Holland, sum up the afternoon for us.
Prez backline attack containing a lot of O'Leary's. That's probably the only way you can summarise it. But it's a Prez Christians repeat final, and you look at any team going back to back is so hard. So for Prez to do it that way emphatically in a semi-final and having another bite at a final, it's incredible for them.
Barry, in terms of, obviously you spoke very eloquently about teams needing to, or parents dropping players to games, and it all culminating in this. St. Munchins gave absolutely everything, and in the end they can really have no complaints with how good this PBC side were. No,
they didn't. As I said a few minutes ago, they came out with a game plan, and before the game, if you'd have told me it, I'd agreed with them. It was to stop the two centres, the O'Learys, and they just didn't manage to do it in that first half, and that to me is all down to how good Prez were. They were absolutely incredible. Just so much energy, so much accuracy in what they were doing, tore Munchins apart, and then already by half time it was too much of a mountain for them to climb. They did come out and give a great showing for themselves and for their coaches and for their school for the second half, and they'll take a little bit of pride from that. But what a performance from Prez, and they're going to take a lot of stopping.
Yep. Johnny Allen, 64 points in last year's semi-finals, 57 in this year's semi-final. But in terms of looking forward to the final, we've seen CBC yesterday mix power and attack. We've seen Prez today with the ball in hand. It's going to shape up to be some final here in March.
Yeah, I think Christians have really brought their attack on as well compared to last year. Their defence will hopefully contain that Prez team a little bit more for their sake and make a real battle of the final. But I think if Christians can take Prez on up front, and if they can, Prez were a little bit suspect when they were brought back down the kind of short side again, and they were very kind of passive in that defensive period as well. So I think there's areas of that game that Christians will be looking at thinking they can get at them, but I'm sure Munchins were thinking the same thing today, and if you don't stop that backline potency, you could be behind on the scoreboard before you get going.
Barry, PBC into fifth consecutive final. We saw Comp lose yesterday in Munchins today. The hunt for a Limerick trophy goes on, but we're in for some final in March between Christians and Prez.
I think so. I mean, the level of talent on that side is phenomenal, to be honest. They're a pack that were probably going to be outpowered by Munchins if they got it into an arm wrestle, so they understood what they had to do, move that big pack around the field, get their star players into the game, and James O'Leary, Kareem, those guys are, as we said, could easily step into a Munster jersey. Or we saw the Ireland under-20s here training earlier on. Could easily step into an Ireland under-20s team. Neville O'Leary as well on the wing, scored some brilliant tries. So these guys are coming out of school now, serious athletes, serious understanding of how to play the game. And didn't see the Christians game yesterday, but from what I understand, a serious side as well. So it's brilliant for Irish rugby. More importantly, it's brilliant for Munster rugby to see these young fellas coming out of school at that kind of level. And fair play to the coaches as well. Both sides today really well coached, and we need a huge amount of that for us, for not just clubs, schools, that we get the right coaches in there developing this young talent that we have. And we'll have a number of O'Learys in the Munster team and Irish team in years to come.
Thomond Park may become O'Leary Park in years to come, who knows. But PBC march on into this season's Pinergy Munster Schools Senior Cup final. They will face off against fierce rivals CBC. That date is to be confirmed in March. It will be streamed live via the Irish Examiner, so do stay tuned to all their social channels for updates on dates. From myself, Darragh Frawley, and Barry Murphy, along with Johnny Holland, have a very good evening, and we'll see you in March.
Top teams in the world come together in the Six Nations.
The energy transition is happening. Now is the time to change. Time to move from polluting to preserving, consuming to creating. Time to act on your energy. To understand it, save it, even sell it. Because today's decisions will transform tomorrow. Pinergy, powering energy transition.
To all the fans out there, we know how much you care. To everyone who believes this could be their year,
So much. And then the quality of rugby that's been played.
we're always here. Wherever your team or heroes roam, there's one place we can all call home. The Irish Examiner, where sport lives.
Beauty play here by Prez, going through the hands and Wigington Barrett. Again, Wigington Barrett's on the move here. He's got one to beat. Wigington Barrett is going to get the opening score in this Pinergy Munster Schools Senior Cup semi-final. Barry Murphy, what a start.
Actually shifted to the right, spread the Munchins defence, and it was just too much in the end.
Wigington Barrett with the try, and Captain O'Leary, Black and Foley. They go towards the middle of the line, and it's Black who carries very well. And the ball is in the hands here of Adam O'Shaughnessy, and Munchins are very, very close to the line. Prez struggling to get there, and O'Shaughnessy, the first entry into the 22 for both. Up and buys his team some time to defend here. Prez again calling in the artillery to carry doing all he can to stop the PBC side, but the onslaught will continue here. Murphy looks for O'Leary, Kareem, and much like the final 12
case of if he's going to score, when he's going to score, that's what makes it early. If you can get on the scoreboard, you get Munchins in trouble. But just again back to the referee trying to cut him down, leaving Oisin Minogue on his own with James O'Leary, and it's again the two centres really causing trouble.
We're going to see a 5-metre variation here. I can't even see the ball myself as Tui goes towards O'Leary Kareem, and O'Leary Kareem has scored again. And O'Leary Kareem drills the ball through the posts. As the ball restarted by Wood finds O'Leary again. Grace and Minogue both miss O'Leary, and O'Leary is running riot here. James looking left and right as he's trying to keep Matt DePow honest. Neville O'Leary has got lots of gas. His brother on the right hand side, and O'Leary is going. Matt DePow's going to try and stop him, but he's not going to do it. O'Leary Kareem gets on the outside of Williamson, and O'Leary Kareem is off on the gallop. It's a little hand tap tackle, but PBC running absolute riot here. Alderson is going to go the whole distance, is he? PBC are going to score their 5th try of the afternoon. Straight through the posts. Murphy and O'Leary Kareem, nice little popping inside to Neville O'Leary, and Neville O'Leary cutting through. He's got William Tavera on the outside, but O'Leary's going to go himself, and he's not going to be stopped by DePow in time. And O'Leary scores. And it's a kick. Prez try and get up and steal, but Munchins have gotten down and they've settled that maul as Minogue carries, and Minogue's very hard to stop from this area, and he looks to have gotten the ball down there, and Captain Minogue gets Munchins. It's Wood, left-footed. It's about 15.5 metres in from that left-hand touchline. Wood delicately strikes it, and it's a brilliant kick. He had a lot of space here, whichever way the ball bounces, and it's fielded just about. And Matt DePow, right-footed, tries to dig it over the top. It's going to land in the hands, and PBC are going to finish with a flourish. Mark Hetherington, the replacement. There's Murphy. Seals the fate of St. Munchins in his Pinergy.